Alright, what's going on? It's been a minute, and just to clarify, today I'm using the controller mic because I'm having issues with my other mics, and I don't know what the fuck's wrong, but it is what it is. So, today, Ed has finally snapped, if you can call it a snap, but, he fired back on Twitter, and effectively called all of the fans, not all the fans, but basically people who bitch in any of his tweets, saying that they're demanding stuff. He basically called them all self-entitled. What? No. Listen, this is a big problem. I have heard many people say that the Mortal Kombat community is super self-entitled and everybody is very over-demanding for things that they want. But this simply is not true. Here's the thing. This game has made multiple promises over the 2 years it's been out, and little to nothing has been changed. The last time we saw any content was in December of 2020 for the ultimate upgrade. You had the 3 characters and then whatever else came with that. Cool, that was alright for a little bit. 7 months go by, then we get the Shiva Killer patch, which was very... Other than the Shiva nerf, it was pretty minor and inconsequential, except for some stuff done to Shao Kahn. But the point stands, there has been absolutely nothing added to this game at all. And they made claims multiple times saying that this is supposedly the longest supported game in NRS history, and we're going to have support for years and years to come. Well, I guess it's true in a form of technicality, but it really isn't, because all they did was stretch out the content over a course of time that it made it seem like it actually was, the longest supported game, but it hasn't been. And they've had multiple chances to really to capitalize on their game. First we had, the Pro Comp was a great time for that. Pro Comp's over. They could have announced something at the end of that, because, announcing big patch details is never a good thing during a major tournament. MKX can vouch for that. They basically killed a bunch of characters mid-tournament for MKX. The movie happened. They said nothing. Ed Boon said nothing about that movie, which is really surprising. E3 just happened, and Warner Brothers had nobody on their panel. They had Back 4 Blood, which is supposed to be Left 4 Dead, I'm guessing, or some kind of spiritual successor to that, and nothing else. And then now Ed Boon finally made a tweet regarding something about Mortal Kombat, which was the new animated series movie, which, Scorpion's Revenge is pretty good. I'll give it that. But he made a post about that, but nothing involving the new movie that just came out. So he's picking and choosing his battles, and then when people finally decide to interact with him for actually making a post about Mortal Kombat for the first time in ages, he calls everybody self-entitled when it's his product that he is selling to us. Like, I'm not understanding what the deal is here. Like I said, E3 was like the make it or break it moment for most of the community. Everybody's like, if nothing comes from E3, the game's dead. I can't picture a game in today's age that can go 7 months without having any form of update and not having a team to at least fill people in as of why. That's not unheard of for a game to be like, yo, Alright, we're not going to have any content for 7 months, but we're going to tell you why and keep you posted. NetherRealm and Warner Brothers has said nothing. Absolutely nothing. Meanwhile, our community manager, Mr. Tyler fucking Lansdowne, tweets about sports all day. God, I want his job. I don't get paid to be a community manager for Warner Brothers and NetherRealm Studios to tweet about something that's completely irrelevant to the game. And then people bitch at him for doing it. But they shouldn't. Because... Or yeah. He shouldn't be doing that. People have the right to bitch because he's not doing his job. Think about, like, 10 years ago, when MK9 was out, this is a decade, I feel fucking old. NetherRealm was the best for this. They would always talk to the fans, they'd keep everybody updated with plans, you know, and they would help, a lot of them would attend tournaments. So if you caught them at a tournament, you could chat with them about how the game's going, what's going on, the current development cycle, all that fancy stuff. Awesome. Now it's total gridlock. It's dead silence from everybody involved. And here we have Ed Boon, our Lord and Savior, Edward John Boon, making fun of us for wanting more out of the product that we paid for and are willing to continue paying for. We're saying, Ed, give us your game and we will give you money. That's what's being said. Everybody wants to pay this man for the shit that he provides, or at least his team. I don't really honestly, yeah, he's the creative director and consultant, but I don't really know what that gets him nowadays. Anyway, this man is still the figurehead of the franchise. You know, John Tobias is, you know, off in Dreamland doing whatever he does on Twitter, but nothing is being done, and he's making fun of us for wanting to make the game better. I'll be honest, I love Mortal Kombat. I don't care what it is, I will play it as long as it's not Special Forces. I'll play the damn game. But it's getting tedious, and I usually work through whatever issues any game I play has. I'm not the type of person to bitch about the gameplay, because I think the game is fun regardless. But when they have a story mode with NPC characters that are clearly, at least in some form in the production floor, ready to be turned into a legitimate character, which one of them is my favorite, and they've done nothing with those characters. I shouldn't have to buy the PC version after buying this game, so I can go install a mod and play the game offline and not use the character that I want to use. It's ridiculous. And RoboCop is not a sufficient replacement for those characters. He's not. He would never be. And I just can't help but feel insulted. Maybe I'm taking it too seriously, but I legitimately can't picture a game studio in today's age like making fun of and bitching at their fan base for asking for more content to pay for. Especially in a game like this where there's been nothing. Nothing! There's been no content! And don't you dare say that skin packs, skins, that they've probably had baked since before the game came out, this unfinished game, that they chopped up the content as legitimate content. No, sorry. I refuse to believe that. No, there's no way. So, we're getting clowned on for being like, yo, give us what we want. And I just find this absolutely ridiculous. I mean, this is my favorite game series in history, like ever. And I want to support this game. I don't want to have to go elsewhere to enjoy this experience. I don't want to have to play Guilty Gear Strive, even though I'm considering it. I don't want to have to go elsewhere because you won't support your game. I can't fathom anything like that. It's ridiculous. And yeah, I'm well aware of what's going on. For those who don't know, there's a big merger going on with Warner Brothers and Discovery, so now it's going to be Warner Discovery Media or something. So basically, these two streaming giants are now one giant streaming, conglomerate. They own HBO, Warner Brothers, Warner Media, Warner Telecommunications, Warner Games, all the Discovery IP properties, and whatever else is going on. So I'm sure this might have had something to do with the total shutdown of any game development, which would explain why, Back 4 Blood is the only game Warner Brothers put on their panel, which is asinine to me, but whatever. But the fact remains, and they could all have gag orders on them, but I really highly doubt that they would put every employee on lockdown for speaking on Twitter. They should just be like, they should at least have the ability to say, hey, I'm not at liberty to discuss what's going on, but just say something. Say something. But his tweet calling everybody self-entitled for asking more content pretty much signals to most people that it's the end. Like, asking for more content that isn't there is us being self-entitled. So, I'm just upset. It's, people make fun of Smash for going months without telling anybody what's going on. They think that's bad, but this has literally been endless suffering of just stuck in limbo. And as I mentioned, Smash, they added Kazuya from fucking Tekken. He's the new character. That's sick. That's awesome. That is so cool. Nintendo is not dropping the ball. Guilty Gear Strive just came out. It's a fucking hit. Everybody's enjoying it. I haven't played it. I probably won't for a bit. But regardless, that game is doing well too. Street Fighter V is still supporting that game. Tekken 7 still being supported. All of these games are still getting content. 5-6 years into their life cycle, we have seen MK. We've seen MKX, Injustice 2, and MK11 all die in the time that Street Fighter V and Tekken 7 have been living. I feel like I'm playing Call of Duty. It makes me sad because I love this game, and if you watch most of my gameplay, I play one character. I play Spawn. My biggest issue with this game is the roster. I don't like anybody in the roster. I hate zoners, and all I play are fucking zoners, apparently. That's the only people I find in Combat League are zoners. Zoning is miserable, so I refuse to play zoning characters. I jived with 0 of the characters except for Spawn. So, I love the game, but it's getting tiresome. I want to enjoy somebody new, and I would love to have new additions to the roster for me to play and figure out what's great. But it doesn't seem like it's happening, and for the time being, I'm going to keep posting the videos about Mortal Kombat, but I doubt there's going to be any other news to cover that's worth mentioning, except for anything else in the works about their Marvel title that is within the hearsay land. But if nothing else really comes, which it doesn't seem to be, I think this is going to be a departure, but when the new Battlefield comes out, I think that's going to be my main game for a while. The new Battlefield, and I'm still going to play Mortal Kombat, but it's like I have Stockholm Syndrome. I'm stuck with this game that it abused me. I've transitioned back to playing a little bit of MKX as well, so I might post some stuff there. The only issue is that even on a wired connection with MKX, my online experience has been terrible as of late, it's not the netcode in that game still is not very good, so that will remain to be seen. But I want to get back into MKX. I did post a little short combo video with Cyrax, just for anybody else who's looking to get back into the game. Just as a refresher, that one's pretty good. So yeah, until then, we're stuck with this unfinished game that needs lots of work, and it seems it's not going to happen. And even the guy who created the game is calling us entitled for wanting it to be better. So that's that. It's awesome. I'm so glad. I'm just, I'm just disappointed. So, yeah. Keep in touch.